So hi there, welcome to Goal Setting this evening. My name is Melanie Parry. I'm a double diamond with It Works, and we are in December in 2014, so it's always a good time to be taking a look at where your goals are. So sometimes it can be a little bit of a quieter time for the business. People tend to use it as a time of reflection. I know I did last year. I definitely used it as a time to sit down and work out, where I wanted to be, and I think with that in mind, it's quite nice to be able to share that with you guys and the process that I went through last year, because that was successful for me. And within the January I promoted to Emerald, and in the February I promoted to Diamond, and that was thanks to this goal setting and the stuff that I did with regards to this. Okay, so achieving your dreams. So I'll just read through this a little bit for you. So your brain is a learning machine that needs to be kept occupied. If it isn't, it can start to dwell on the negative and get you into all kinds of trouble. As a human being, you need to use all your ingenuity to direct your brain towards helping you to achieve your goals. So basically what you need to do is, if you're creating a compelling, irresistible future, from your dream boards and things like that, then your brain helps you to align your behaviour that moves you towards that outcome. It says quickly and easily, but quicker and easier than what it would if you didn't. The first step, therefore, is obviously working out what you want. And when you're trying to move forward and achieve your goals, life is so much easier if you become very clear about what you really want. And that is absolutely crucial, to be clear. So knowing what you want. So there's a little quote here from Alice in Wonderland, when Alice asked the Cheshire Cat, "Would you tell me please which way I ought to walk from here?" So without having a clear idea of where she wants to, she just wants to go somewhere. So the Cheshire Cat responds that she is sure to get somewhere if she just walks for long enough. And this is just obviously, you will get somewhere if you walk long enough, but, you really do need to be clear on where do you want to go. So you're not going to walk into a train station and ask for a ticket to go somewhere. So when you've got your business, there's no point in sitting there and thinking, right, I'm going to sign with It Works. Well, where do you want to go with that? What do you want to achieve, and what is it that you want from this business? Because by knowing that, you can achieve it. Okay, so there are 7 steps to making your dreams come true. So 1, identify your dream with absolute clarity and belief, and this is where the dream board comes into place. So you're going to put that board together with all of your images of where you want to be. So my dream board that I've got now is one that has very, very big dreams on it. So this is sort of my 5-year dream plan. And I did it a year ago, so maybe a 4-year dream plan, but whatever. This is where, that's when I've made it completely and utterly. What I'm going to do between Christmas and New Year this year, and I'll do it with the family and I'll do it with the boys, is I'm going to do a 6-month dream board with them. So, visualise where we want to be in 6 months' time, because, those first 6 months of the year are where the real magic can happen. So that's what I want to do, is get us in a place where we know exactly where we want to be within that key growth period of It Works. What does that look like for us? So number 2 is understand the why behind your dream. So for me personally, so the why, when I probably first started out, was for me to be at home with the boys and to be able to do the school runs and be able to go to the carol concert like I did the other day, and go to the violin show that I've got tomorrow, and just be able to do all those things and be around, more for the boys and not miss out on anything like that. when that gets bigger, so, and it's always probably been there, but this year I did sit at the carol concert and think to myself, next year I have to make sure that Neil is here too. So he can only get out of work so many times. He's done 2 nativities. So the reality was he couldn't get out for the carol concert. He won't be able to get out for the violin show tomorrow. So he's probably not kicking himself about the violin show. But you know, that's you know, my why is him being around now for the boys as well. So your why has to make you cry. Okay, so if you're sitting there thinking, this is my why, and you don't get a little bit choked or a little bit upset, or, you know, just feel quite emotional about it, you've not dig deep enough, so you need to dig deeper, because there'll be even more to it. So if your why is financial, why would that financial thing, what difference would that make to you? So for example, you might go, well, I want to earn such and such money each month. Why? Well, so that I can stay at home. Why? Well, because I want to be around for my children. Or you know, if you've not got children, then it could well be, well, actually, I want to be in a position, you know, where I'm, you know, able to afford things and do different things like that. But your why should get you emotional, basically. Be positive, talk about what you want, and it's not about talking what you don't want. So for example, when you're being positive and you're talking about what you want, you're saying, I want diamond and I want to be able to work from home, and you wouldn't be saying, I don't want to work at dentists, for example. So I've got Amanda Turner on today. So you're, you know, be positive about it with regards to, I want to be at home with the children more, rather than talking about what you don't want. Be open to other possibilities, so believe in what you want, but don't be so attached to the outcome that you're rigid and unbending. Be open to other possibilities. So as you're going along in making your dream come true, there will be things that come through, you know, there's going to be things that are thrown at you that you're going to have to deal with, that you're going to think, oh, that's not quite how that was supposed to be going to plan, and you've just got to roll with it a little bit. So keep that big dream in, you know, in check, but roll with how you get there. So reflect on what is happening around you. If something isn't working, then be open to finding a different way of making it happen. You know, this can happen all the time. You know, when I was going for my double diamond, there was Amanda was my emerald, and something wasn't working with regards to one of the rubies, so we completely split that. And so it's being constantly, as I say, open and reflecting on what's happening. Ask the right questions to make it happen. So don't ask why, ask what can I do to make things happen. So, you know, we're not saying why is this happening, we're saying what can I do to do this. And then keep going until your dream is achieved. So as I say, even if you don't hit a few of your goals on the way, even if you get a few sidetracks and you just think to yourself, oh, it's not quite going how I want it to go at this moment in time, that is completely normal. And there won't be a person who works in network marketing or anybody who has had any success working for themselves or in any, you know, anything that they've tried to do that hasn't come across it and not hit every single goal along the way, and has had to, you know, replan to make that bigger dream happen. Okay, so with regards to well-formed goals, so as we were talking about, so we want the goal to be stated in the positive. So what do you want, and be specific about this. So for example, I want my commissions to be a certain amount per month. So, you know, literally sit there and think to yourself, each month what will make a difference? You know, what is it that I want to actually achieve specifically? And then, is the goal self-initiated? What do you want to achieve? Your goal can't be for someone else. So for example, I can remember having a conversation again with Amanda when I was shooting for emerald and diamond, and I said, I need someone to be in my ruby. Do you want to be in my ruby? And, you know, that had to be what Amanda wanted. So, you know, we couldn't work that unless she wanted it as well. So that is absolutely crucial. So when you're talking to your team, when I'm talking to you guys, You shouldn't ever be thinking, oh, well, I need to achieve that for Mel, which, yeah, that's great. And it's great if you want to help me, but it's about what you want to achieve. And, it can't be like, so for example, you wanted to give up smoking and you wanted to do it for your partner. You're not going to do it because it's not for you. And that's what that's about. So will you know when you've achieved it? So yeah, make sure that it's it's a smart, it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, and all that sort of stuff. If you've used SMART goals before in other things, make sure that you know that you can actually achieve it. Is the goal clearly defined? So when do you want to achieve it by, and how can I achieve it? And I'll go on to talk about that a little bit more later. But so for example, if you're saying, right, okay, I want to hit Ruby by January, Emerald by February, and Diamond by March, and then you'll be talking about, okay, well, what do I need to do to achieve it? How can I achieve that? What do I need for that to happen? So what are the necessary resources? So what do you have already? That can be anything. So that can be, prospects that you've got that you're talking to. That can be customers that you're talking to. That can be distributors in your team. That's loyal customers that signed up this month, and therefore, you've got them for the next 3 months from a volume perspective. So what resources do you have? And then what do you need? So obviously, it's going to be about those distributors and customers and volume and all that sort of stuff. And have I done this before? So act as if you already have the resources to help shift your belief. Now this was something that was really, really quite big for me personally. So last December when I was, there was just seemed to be a real struggle. And I don't know what was causing that, but there was a real struggle with regards to thinking. So I'd achieved 400 bonus volume, but other people achieving it just seemed to not be happening, or it just seemed to, there was all different things coming into place. So I had to sit down and go, right, okay, have I done this before? Have I trained and encouraged and motivated people in my team to hit 400 bonus volume? And is it possible? And the answer obviously was yes, so that was possible. So then you just have to go, right, okay, well, I know it's possible, so I've just got to replicate that and just go for it. And as I say, act as if you already have the resources. So you've got to believe in yourself that you can do that. So identify how the goal fits with your life. So this is a little bit to do with your why as well. So what is the real purpose of why I want this? So, we can all say that it's the financial side of things, and we want the cars and the houses, but the reality is that won't be probably what is the real purpose that's behind it. And the real purpose will be quality of living with your family and enabling things to happen, with your partner or your family or different things like that. And when you identify stuff like that, and it doesn't just become, a commission figure, that's what gives you the drive to go ahead and go smash it, to be honest with you. What will I lose or gain if I get it? So obviously, that speaks for itself. What will happen if I get it? What will happen if I don't get it? What won't happen if I get it? And what won't happen if I don't get it? So, for example, things like this are, what will happen if I get it? Well, for me personally, it was that, the financial pressure of our family was taken off incredibly. What will happen if I don't get it? Well, at a point in time last year, it was going to be that I was going to have to start to look for some other work to enable that financial pressure to be taken off. What won't happen if I get it? So there's certain things that won't happen. So, you're not going to become you know, you may not have a happy relationship or different things like that. So you have to be realistic, I suppose, on what those things are going to do, and what won't happen if I don't get it. So that for me was, you know, if I don't get it, it's not the end of the world, and, you know, it's not as if we're going to lose loads of different things. Okay. So the last thing here on well-formed goals is, does the goal identify the first step I need to take? Now, the majority of you, to be honest with you, have taken the first step because you signed. So that, what I would say, is your first step with It Works. But the, and I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, the ancient philosopher is credited with saying that a journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. And, you know, that's, in any dream, you have to make that first step. And, you know, joining It Works is the first step. And then I suppose it's making those goals and defining those goals is another step. And as it says here, often changes into the dramatic breakthrough kind, but a drip, drip, drip effect, slowly getting what you want. And that is 100% true. So, you know, there's literally like one distributor will join, another distributor will join, a few more customers join, and then slowly you're like, oh my goodness, you know, and it's the drip, 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 drip. And yeah, admittedly, you want those drips to be happening in 1 month, but it is that you're getting what you want. And you know, for myself personally, you know, going from emerald and going to diamond and then maintaining my diamond and then going to double diamond and then maintaining that, it's just been a drip, 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 drip. So then must create a breakdown of an action plan, so showing the steps to get you to your goal. So you know, if you turn your dream into reality, you've got to make that first step. And then you've got to build the momentum to take the next step and the next step. And you've got to have that action plan showing you how you're going to get each, you know, what steps you're going to get to your goal. So then we've got a 4-point formula for success. So the first thing is to know your outcome. So specify precisely what you want. Then you're going to take action. So unless you take that first step and then the following ones, nothing's going to happen. So you've got to be taking the constant action. And then your awareness. So we've talked about awareness of seeing and hearing and feeling what isn't working, and you can modify. And that is a constant thing that you will be doing. And you will constantly be sending an email out and thinking, oh, I've worded that a little bit differently, or talking to someone and thinking, oh, I might just say that. And that constant awareness of what you're doing and what you can improve on and what you can do better. And with regards to like everything, so, you know, training calls, I'll be like, oh, okay, maybe don't do that next time and talk about this, and all of those different things. So you're constantly aware and you're constantly developing yourself. And then maintaining the flexibility. So as we've just said, you know, if something isn't working, do it different. Because if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And that is 100% true. So yes, I've been incredibly lucky and got to double diamond, and really, really happy to be in that position and what that's doing for the family. But I'm looking now all the time, and I'm going to be spending, like I say, a lot of time over the Christmas period reflecting on what's gone well, what hasn't gone so well, what will I do differently, what do I want to change about me, what do I want to change about how things work within the team, and, you know, that constant thing as to, right, okay, how can we get bigger and better? So we've just gone through obviously those different things about, you know, having a positive goal, and what I wanted to do is equate it to It Works and becoming a diamond, so you can see the, you know, the realness of this, and how it is so effective and relevant to what we do. So a positive goal would be, I want to become a diamond leader and earn £1,500 per month in commissions. So that's a positive goal. And that goal can be anything. So it can be, I want to become diamond, or I want to become ruby. And as I say, you'll have your 3 months, 6 months and 12 month goals. So break that down then further. So then you've got yourself initiated. So I want to be diamond. So not that anybody else wants me to be diamond, not that, you know, somebody down the road thinks I should be or whatever. I want to be it. That's what I want to do. And then will you know when you've achieved it? Well, yeah, because eSuite will tell you. So that's really great. That's an easy one. Is the goal clearly defined? So state that your goal, state when you want it by, and then be very, very clear on how many distributors you need, what volume you need, and you're going to be charting yourself daily. So when January comes, you are literally going to be looking at your chart, and we can go through that in a different webinar. We'll be doing a lot of charting in January, but basically you've got your chart, so whatever chart that is. So say for example, you know, it's say for example it's Ruby. You're going, right, okay, well I've got 2 distributors, so I need another 1, and I need one of those distributors to get 2 for my Ruby. So make it clear exactly what you need and exactly what volume that they are requiring. Then your necessary resources. So chart what distributors and volume you've got already, identify where you need them, and work with your team on filling these gaps. So, you know, this is something where you're going to be working with your team. You are going to be speaking to your 2 key people that will get you to diamond daily. You know, they are going to be literally where you speak to them every day. And I know I will be speaking to people that want to become diamond. I will be speaking to them every single day. So that is something that just happens, and you've got to have that relationship and talking to people. And recognise your ability to achieve the 400 group volume yourself. So you've done it, so you know full well that 1, it can be done, and 2, that you know how to do it, so you can show somebody else how to do it. So once you've got that, then do you know what? Just go for it, because you've got your belief. And then act as if you are already a diamond. So think to yourself and look at diamond leaders, and not just diamond leaders within this team. Look at diamond leaders in the US. Watch how people behave that are in a leadership position and start emulating them. Find the people that you look up to and you respect, and you know, there are goodness knows how many, you know, leaders within the US that you can look to and go, do you know what they do works for me. Watch what they do on Facebook, watch what they, you know, listen to how they're talking to their team, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to emulate that with your team. And then how does the goal fit with your life? So why do you really want this? By gaining it, you'll gain commissions, and then the rest of those will be personal to you. So it will be all very personal. So that's something you'll have to work out. And then that first step, so you're going to break down that goal into bite-sized chunks. So you're going to take your first step, and then you're going to break it down. Okay, so your bite-sized chunks with a detailed plan. So you're going to need to know how many distributors you're going to need each month. And then underneath that, you're going to need to know how many loyal customers will be required to enable the volume for those 400 group volume boxes. Then you're going to need to know, well, how many wraps do you want to sell? So how many wraps do I want to sell each month? And that's key, because if you're wrapping people, then you are wrapping potential distributors and potential customers. So don't ever lose sight of wrapping people. And then what are you going to do to make the above happen? So you're going to say, right, each month I'm going to do a certain amount of this. So how many people are you going to blitz? How many wrap or facial parties are you going to want to do? How many follow-ups are you going to do? Or, you know, how many days of follow-ups are you going to do? How many launch nights are you going to attend for your team? How many one-to-ones are you going to have over a coffee? How many salons are you going to visit each month? And the hashtag just one more is, so you're just about to think to yourself, right, that's it, I'm done. And then you ask one more. So how many times are you going to push yourself and go, no, I'm not done, I'm going to do one more? How many opportunity meetings are you going to set up? Or are you going to work with somebody and say, do you know what, let's do an opportunity meeting in our area? And how many opportunity webinars are you going to be present at, and are you going to use them? So something that I'll start to set up in January is where webinars like this, we basically go through, you know, this is the party pad, this is what it is, this is what the product does, this is the opportunity, and those will be taking place. I'll probably try and do those at least once every couple of weeks, and you can invite all your prospects to those. So how many of those are you going to be present on? And, you know, if you're looking to be diamond leaders, are you going to be looking to do them yourself? So I didn't wait till I hit diamond to do opportunity webinars. I was doing them at Ruby. You know, the minute I discovered them, I was doing them myself. And then we've got MailChimp. So MailChimp's a fantastic tool, obviously, to keep in contact with all of your leads that you've gained. So if you've got an email address of somebody, put it into a list onto MailChimp, and you are going to be doing probably once a fortnight, you're going to be sending out MailChimps of all different types. So you might have a list of salons, so you'll be directing stuff to them. You'll have a list of customers, you'll have a list of loyal customers. How many of those are you going to be sending out each month so that you can get those prospects interested? And then attending events. So for example, we've got next year quite a few events coming up. So just off the top of my head, and just so these are the ones that I'm organising, there'll be other people in the team organising stuff. But we've got the Ideal Home Show in London, we've got Beauty UK, we've got Scottish Beauty, and we've got the Ideal Home Show in Manchester. So we've got quite a few different things coming up already. And attending Pamper and Ladies Nights, and you know, we've had Christmas fairs obviously recently. So anything like that that you can get along to, how many of those are you going to be doing? So you're going to say to yourself, right, in the month of January, I want to be Ruby, for example. So how many of those things am I going to do to get those distributors that I need to fill those boxes and those customers? And that is how detailed you're going to want to get with this. And then if you're going for diamond, then obviously, you know, what boxes have I got left? Who are my 2 key people that I'm working with? And you're making sure that those 2 people are doing this as well. So it's absolutely crucial that everybody in your team has detailed goals and has it broken down into these sort of chunks. And that's it. So I'm going to unmute you. Have you got any questions?
Well, that the PowerPoint presentation there, is that available? Will that be available?
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. So I will, what I'll do is I'll upload this onto YouTube, but I'll also put this file onto the page as well, yeah, onto the team page. So then you can go, I know you'll want to go back and refer through it. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, well that's that then, guys. So thanks very much for joining me tonight, and I'll get that uploaded for you.
But